What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Spivey. I'm coming at y'all with another reaction video. Now, in this video, man, we got something very special, man. It's 6 proofs for God's existence. Proof of God. Now, I've always thought to myself that God was real, but I feel like some people don't believe in God just because he hasn't physically presented himself. But I feel like this video is going to explain my reasoning for why God is real. And just because, you know, I've been a lot more curious with the Bible and God and things of that nature. So I think this is a great video to watch, man. And with all the stuff that's going on in this world, negative and positive, I feel like there's definitely a spiritual war going on. Because there's no way all this stuff could be happening and there's not like a reason to it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna dive right into it, man. If y'all new, make sure to subscribe to the channel, man. I want to start making more content like this. A lot of things that are very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into it.
Socrates once stated that we should follow the argument wherever it leads. When we look at the most profound question of life, does God exist? We should certainly...
Oh man, sound like one of them old 1950 dudes that's you can't come in this store, you man, let me stop, bro. Let me stop. Hell no, what am I'll take that off.
We follow his advice. When we do, we'll find evidences that show us God is real. Let's look at 6 proofs that show God exists.
That's all right.
Number
Let's see.
1, the universe must have a cause. The most fundamental law of science is the law of cause. And
exactly. There has to be a reason. This all can't just be here for no reason. That doesn't make any sense. This just falls for no reason. Like there's a reason. Like there's a reason for everything. I don't know why I just. I'm trying to act all smart and stuff. Let me just watch the video, bro.
And it says that for every material effect we see, there is a cause that came before it or was simultaneous to it.
Exactly.
And that is greater than it.
But see, you have to understand this too. If we're going to talk about cause and effect, and we're going to be that literal with it, then what caused God to be God? See, it's so many questions, but you can't use science with God because God created science. God created the laws of the land. The reason why we study science is because God has created it this way. You see what I'm saying?
The universe is a material effect. So what caused the universe? You see, if you don't believe in a creator, then you have to suggest something like a singularity. That's what is popular today, that there was some type of singularity that exploded in something called the Big Bang. But then when you try to get down to the bottom of what's a singularity, well, what we hear from the scientific community that suggests to us, the cosmologists, they say, well, a singularity was something that popped into existence from nothing.
See, science cannot explain why God is not real. So I don't want nobody telling me, all you atheists out here, bro. Let me stop. I'm just playing. But a lot of people don't believe in God, and I feel like you should, bro. You should, bro. Number one, because there's a lot of consequences with not believing in God. If you read the Bible, you know what those consequences are. It can go into hell. And that shouldn't be the only reason why you should believe in God. I believe in God because that's how I was raised, part of it. And another reason is because he's done so many things for me in my life. Like, at this point, it's just about being loyal. It's not even about being afraid of going to hell. Like, that's part of it. Nobody wants to go to hell, but that's not the reason I follow God. You know what I'm saying? So this right here says something that popped into existence from nothing. But science says everything has to start from something. Everything has to be because of something that happened. That headphone I dropped to the ground was because I picked it up and I dropped it. That's the reason why that happened. But the Big Bang Theory don't make sense because nothing happened before it. But if you have a creator, there's nothing before the creator because he created everything. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's exactly what we would have now. The idea that something popped into existence from nothing is simply not a scientific idea. You see, they're suggesting that singularity is somehow natural, but it behaves supernaturally. Well, then, so what are we left with? We're left with the fact that the universe had a beginning, and it was not a natural cause. It was something above nature. It was something super nature. You see the material effect of the universe, we can know that there was a supernatural creator that caused.
If you only believe in nature and don't believe in God, then how can nature create nature? What? That don't even make sense, do it?
Proof number 2. Design demands a designer. It is a truism that everybody recognizes that this universe looks designed. In fact, when we see the various different aspects of nature and we see birds,
I totally agree with that. It does look designed. And you got to think of it like this. Why is it consistently daytime and nighttime?
and squirrels and trees, and we see all of the things that they do so well. Many times, we as humans, we try to copy and mimic that design, but often we don't do nearly as well as the design that we see in nature. We look at the design of the human body and the human hand and the arm and the leg and the brain, and we see that those are some of the most advanced, technologically savvy pieces of equipment ever put together. Mimic them and copy them, and we can't do it as well. Why? Because this universe exhibits design from the starry sky at night to the fingertips on your hand. The design is overwhelming. It's everywhere. Where does design originate? Well, what you and I both know is that when you see things that function and they're complex, that design comes from an intelligent designer. Big explosions just simply don't bring about order. They don't cause things that are functional.
Exactly. And what doesn't make sense is this. If a bomb, like, it's going to be a weird example, but if a bomb goes off and the whole building blows up, that's the Big Bang Theory. Everything just blew up. How did the building blow up? It blew up from God has to go in and put a bomb in there, set a timer on there, and then it blows up. So how could that possibly make sense that it just blew up from nothing? You know what I'm saying? So the Big Bang Theory, I feel like, is officially over. It's officially over, and nobody can tell me that the Big Bang Theory is real. Simple.
And complex to come into existence. The design we see in the universe demands a supernatural, intelligent designer. Proof number 3. Life demands a supernatural life giver. You see, in the material world, we have come to understand that there is a law of biology called the law of biogenesis. Law of biogenesis simply says this, that in this material, natural world, life comes from previously existing life of its own kind. Now, when we look at how people used to think about life, they said, no, life can arise spontaneously from non-living chemicals. And yet every single biological experiment has shown us that that simply is biologically impossible.
Exactly. How can a non-living chemical make something living?
Life arise. Where did life originate if it doesn't arise from non-living chemicals? You see, the idea that there's no God suggests to us that there had to be some singularity without a cause that exploded, and that explosion brought about design, which we've never, ever seen happen. Lawgiver. If some things are objectively morally right, and other things are objectively morally wrong, then there must be a God. You see, if we evolved from primordial slime over multiplied millions of years, at what point did objective moral values arise? Humans can perpetrate things that are objectively morally wrong, that humans can be involved in things that are morally right. If that's true, there must be a God. Proof number 5, free will exists. The atheistic idea that there is no God is founded on the idea of materialism, the idea that this material world is all that there is, all that there was, and all that there ever will be. Because of that, atheism has to suggest,
right,
don't really have free will, that there is no being inside of your body or brain that is super matter, that really what's going on in your brain is just electrons bouncing around, and you're the product of those bounces, and you don't really make decisions.
Does that make sense to y'all? I don't know if that does. I might have to replay that.
If you are watching this video of your own volition, then the fact of the matter is there has to be a God that can account for that free will that you as a person have. There has to be a God if there is free will.
That makes sense. I understand why he said that too. Human
we
reasoning.
reason on a regular basis. We understand abstract ideas. If we were products of blind chance, random processes over multiplied millions of years, reasoning and the laws of reasoning simply would have no explanation. And yet we reason.
Now I don't really get this one, but he's about to explain
on a regular basis. From where does reason arise? It's got no naturalistic, atheistic explanation. Anthony Flew, the atheist who wrote Theology and Falsification, the most popular atheistic paper for the last 100 years, the last century. In 2006, he co-wrote a book titled There Is a God, How the World's Most Notorious Atheist Became a Believer.
That right there should just show y'all. That right there should just show y'all that God is real, bro. Bro, if the most anti-God believer of all time can believe in God, that can easily make you believe in him. You see what I'm saying? Because he was the embodiment of anti-God, of no, there is no God.
He stated that his rule of life had always been to follow the evidence where it leads. And he said he followed that evidence.
Where's the evidence before? Where's the evidence before this? Let me stop. I'm gonna edit that part out. I don't know what I was trying to say. I gotta edit that part off.
And it led him to the conclusion that there is a supernatural, intelligent God. Let's let the evidence lead us to that same conclusion.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed that video, man. Very, very interesting. I love things like this, where it makes you think. You know what I'm saying? If y'all are new and y'all want to see more content similar to this, make sure to like the video and comment. Interact with this video. That lets me know y'all want to see more things like this. If y'all new, make sure to sub to the channel, man. We're on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. I bring nothing but lit content, y'all. I'm out. Peace.